A very hearty good morning to all my dear students. Welcome to my channel. I hope you liked my previous video which I had uploaded that was about installing PyDroid application. If you have not yet watched that video, please quickly go to my channel and watch that video. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the nested if statement only. We will be taking it to a next level and solving two very interesting questions based on nested if. This is just to tell you that the nested if structure is not constant every time. It keeps on varying and changing from question to question depending upon the question's requirement. So let us start with the questions. So you can see the very first question over here. Let us imagine a hypothetical situation. Aryan has taken admission in a new school in another city and is staying in the school hostel. This Sunday, Aryan's old friends may visit him. So Aryan has decided to spend his Sunday as per this plan. If his friends visit him, he will go with them for a city tour. If they don't come, he will play FIFA with his roommate if his roommate is free. Otherwise, depending upon money in his pocket, he may eat out in a restaurant or from a small cafe in hostel premises or will simply eat Maggi noodles. So now we have to draw a small flowchart for seeing how this situation can be solved or how Aryan can plan his small Sunday schedule. So let's see. So here we have Aryan. Now we are going to first start with a start box, and over here we are going to see first of all a question will be asked to Aryan. That is, we will be first asking a question to him. Here, the question is firstly, this Sunday, Aryan's old friends may visit him. That is, if his friends visit him. So, we will ask, are friends visiting? Aryan may answer this question in yes or no. So, if the question is yes, he will go for a city tour with his friends. So, let's check this out. Okay. Are friends visiting? So over here we will be asking, answer. Okay, first we'll do one thing. We will be removing this flow chart. We will create a decision tree first. That would be a better idea. So we will first create a decision tree. So this decision tree goes like this. So we have firstly our friends visiting. If it is a yes, then go for a city tour. If it's a yes, go for a city tour. If they don't come, he will play FIFA with his roommate if his roommate is free. So that means another condition has to be checked. Is roommate free? Now there could be two possible outcomes, yes or no. If yes, he will play FIFA with his roommate. So we will write here play FIFA with him. That is roommate. Otherwise, depending upon money in his pocket, he might take some options. So we will be again asking, do you have money? Now, do you have money? So his answer might be yes or no. So he will say yes, or he may also give the answer no. So let's check out if his answer is yes. If he has money, then depending upon the money in his pocket, he might eat out in a restaurant or in a small cafe in hostel premises or simply eat Maggie noodles. Okay, so this is what is going to happen. So let us check out these options. Do you have money? So if he already Aryan has money, he will say yes. Now, how much money do you have? How much money? Then again it will be if it is greater than equal to 1000. If the money which he has is greater than or equal to 1000, then he can eat out in a restaurant. If he doesn't have that much of money, maybe he has around 500 rupees, okay, then eat in the hostel cafe. And if he doesn't have money, no money, then he can go for Maggie noodles, right? And over here, so we had already given that, sorry, no money option was already taken. So I'm going to take some other option over here. That is, maybe he has some 100 rupees. He can purchase Maggie noodles and he can cook that and eat it. In case he doesn't have even money, go to sleep. Simple. So you can see the entire decision tree. Are friends visiting? If it is a yes, go for a city tour. If no, again ask the question, is roommate free? Yes, play FIFA with him. If it is no, do you have money? How much money do you have? He may say yes or no. If it is yes, how much money? If he has around 1000 rupees, he can eat out in a restaurant. If he has less than that, that is, if his money is around it's less than 1000 but it is greater than equal to 500, he can eat in a hostel cafe. If it is less than 500 but greater than 100, he can eat Maggie noodles. And if he doesn't have any money, then he can go to sleep. So let us try to create a program with this. And because we have to create a program, we have to create a flowchart for this. So let's start with a flowchart. So we start with the very first. I'm starting it from here. That is start. The decision tree. This what we decided was a decision tree. Now we will be creating a flowchart. So in the flowchart, firstly it will be asked, are friends visiting? He will answer in he will give the answer which will be stored in a variable, say answer. Okay. Now it will be checked. Is answer yes? If the answer is yes, then the result will be go for a city tour. And that's it. End of story. Stop. If his answer is no, another question will be asked to him, which will be again asked in the form of an input. So it will be asked to him, is roommate free? Again, it will be checked whether this is yes or no. Yes, if the roommate is free, then he can play FIFA with his roommate, and end of story. If it is no, then again, how much money do you have? And that money is asked in a variable named money. Now it will be asked, is the money greater than equal to 1000 rupees? If the answer is yes, then he will eat out in a restaurant. And this will also lead to the end of story. So I'm going to just join it over here with this statement, and let us move forward. If the answer is no, then check another condition. Is the money greater than equal to 500? If it is not greater than equal to 1000, it is obvious it is less than that. So if the answer is yes, so if he had at least 500 rupees, he can eat in the hostel cafe. So eat in the hostel cafe, and that too, end of story. Again, if it is no, that is he has less money, a little above 100, then he could eat Maggi noodles. And that to end of story. And if it is no, still no, that is if suppose he doesn't have money. Now this is, now we don't want to say whether he has money or not, because we are already checking that condition elsewhere. Okay, so here this part will end up here only. So okay, actually it was, I missed out on some part over here. Something was to be asked here, so I'm just going to add that part right here. Something will be asked. If it is no, it will be asked to him, do you have money? Okay, if he has money, have money. If the answer is yes, then it will be asked how much money. And if the answer is no, if the answer of this is no, that means there is only one option, go to sleep. And this we will join with end of story, that is over here. So you saw that this inner if block, it doesn't have an else condition, because we are checking that else over here. Either the person will have money or no money, right? So we are not, and if suppose the person doesn't even have 100 rupees, if he has less than 100 rupees, then do nothing, right? So this is what we are going to do. This is our entire flow chart which we have created. Now we will write a program for this. So I have already created a folder here with the name Sunday plan. So I'm just going to ask a question. So I'm just going to ask a question over here. I'm just giving a comment line. Aryan's Sunday plan. Now the first question is in answer input. Are friends visiting? Answer will be either yes or no. So if answer is yes, then we will be doing something. Okay. So I'm just writing pass over here for the time being. Else we are going to check. If friends are visiting, we can write it. I am not going to write pass. I'll write the statement. If answer is yes, go for a city tour. Go for a city tour. Simple. Elif. Answer is no. Or will not write elif because its answer will be either yes or no. So I am going to write here else. And after else you will again ask a question. So here I am going to ask the question within. I'm going to utilize this ans, or I'll take another variable so that you don't get confused. So I'm taking the second part was is roommate free. So free, I'm taking the variable free and I'm asking is roommate free. He will again answer in yes or no. So if free is equal to yes, if he is free, then I'll write here go and play FIFA with your roommate. So I gave him another option. If he is not free, else I'm going to take up another case over here, that is else. If roommate is not free, what to do? So again a question will be asked to the person, that is, do you have money? Do you have money? So if have money is equal to yes, then you will be obviously asking money, and that too you can ask it in float or eval or int, how much. So the user is going to give the answer in a numeric value, that is some amount he is going to check over here. He is going to say some money. So if money is greater than equal to 1000, then I'll give him the option eat out in a restaurant. Elif. Now here I am using, you can see I am using cascading if else ladder because I am going to just check, go on checking the range. If it is greater than equal to 500, that is less than 1000 but greater than equal to 500, then eat in the hostel cafe. And still not there, that is whatever money he has. Now I've just changed it a little bit, that is I could have taken it like this also. If money is greater than equal to 100, I could have written eat Maggie noodles. And here also else is not mandatory, but I'm still providing some value. Eat some light snack. Okay, eat some light snack and go to sleep. That's it. So this was the inner if which we have used. Now we are just coming down this if. That is if he doesn't have money. What to do in that case? So if we don't have money, simply go to sleep. Now one by one we will close. Now you can see that this is the inner if block. Then this is a little outer if else block which is within this else, right? And now what we need to do is, this is the a set slightly outer if else block, and this is the else part of this if, and this is within this outer else block. So now what I'm going to do is, I think I have provided everything, so I'm just going to copy this and paste it here so that I could check the structure of this code. I'm just going to check the structure of this code and just see how it works. So let's check it out. So we'll start from the inner if over here. So this is my inner if. I'm going to mark it with a red color. This is my inner if else. If elif else ladder. So this thing is the if else ladder. It is not up till this else only. It stretches up to this print statement. Okay. Then after this, the outer if else block, which is this one. Then you have an else part over here. Everything is within this else part, and we have this if. So this if and its else, and within the else part we have this if and this else, and within this if part we have this if else ladder. Now we'll just move a little upwards. Sorry. Yes, a little upwards, and here we find this else. That is, this else is a part of the outer if, and this outer if stretches this way all the way down to the last step. It's the, you can just see with the help of these red lines how far this stretching or how far this nesting is done. You can just check it over here how far the nesting is done. This is the outer if, which can, now you can see this if part doesn't contain any sub statements or any kind of condition. Everything is in the else part. Okay, because if the condition is satisfied, go for this option. So it completely depends upon your program, what your program is asking you to do. Okay, upon the situation, everything has to come. If give, now you could have done it using your cascading if else ladder also, but cascading if else ladder usually follows one input. That one input is checked, it's checked for different values, and depending upon that branching is done. But here what we are doing is, at every step we are asking for some input. Like here also we asked for an input. Okay, and then here also we asked for an input, then here also we asked for an input. So because we have to first check, if the answer is yes, that is if friends are visiting, go for a city tour, else move on to some other course of action. So for that again some input is needed. Is roommate free? If free, play FIFA with your roommate. Else again we have something else. Do you have money? Yes, I have money. How much money do you have? So then again question, depending upon this, every instance of time a question is asked, and the system gives you some result, it gives you some options. So it is, you can say, a base for AI. You are providing ample options to your program such that whenever your program executes, it asks some questions from the player and the player answers them, and depending upon that your system is going to give him the options. Okay, so let's move on, and now you can see four levels of nesting in this program. Four levels of nesting. So outer if, then inner if, then inner if, then inner if. So this is how nested loops work. Let's run this program and see how it is giving me the answer. I'm going to run this program. Are friends visiting? I say no. Is roommate free? I say no. Do you have money? I say yes. How much money? I have some 250 rupees. Eat Maggi noodles because it is greater than 100 but less than 500. So Your system gave you some answer. I'm again going to run it. Are friends visiting? No. Is roommate free? No. Do you have money? No. Go to sleep. Simple. And if again I am running it, is our friends visiting? Yes, go for a city tour. So you can see it very easily that it acts, it behaves when the program runs. It behaves like a person, as if somebody is asking you a question, you are giving the answers to those questions, and the program is giving you the solution to the problem. So solution to the problem has to be solved keeping in mind these heuristics, the different courses of action which you have already pre-decided. So what we had done earlier over here when we created this decision tree, this was the course of action which we had decided for our program. Okay. So this course of action helped us to determine what we are supposed to do with our problem, right? So we were able to create a nice Sunday plan for Aryan. There is another question, and let's do that question also. We have this question over here. I'm just going to copy this. Yes, so the question is over here, and you can see some interesting thing, that is realm of magic. So there is a player in the game, and it's similar to that door game which we had seen in our previous video. So here there's a player, and the player walks along a path and reaches two doors. So he has to select either of them. Suppose he selects door A. He goes through door A, comes across again two doors. He selects door D, and when he enters door D, he lands into a dungeon. So it is just like those decision making game. You can create some games which are based on decision making. You have might have seen many such online story based games. Okay, like there is a zombie apocalypse, and there is one single player who is one sole survivor, and depending upon the decisions which he takes in the game, he has to face certain consequences. For example, if he walks through an abandoned shopping mall, and there is a room of pharmacy. He needs some antibiotics for him for his wife who is dying. So what to do? There are two options. Now there could be some infected inside that pharmacy. Either if he doesn't enter the pharmacy, his wife dies. If he enters the pharmacy, he might face a risk of being attacked by an infectee. So this is how you can create certain decisions. You have to first plan out the situation, how the which all situations the player is going to face, and what all things he will come across while on his quest, and what would be the consequences of his action. So many games which are available these days, they have alternate endings, you might have seen, and all those endings are based upon the decisions taken by the player. One such game, I'll just give you an idea. Just to get an idea, you can see an online walkthrough of that game. You don't need to download the game. There are walkthroughs of those games available, so you can see the walkthrough. So one such game is Telltale's Telltale Games The Walking Dead. It's not the Walking Dead television series. It's an animated 2D animated game, The Walking Dead, and in this there are 5 seasons of this game, and it's a story based game where there is a person, a sole survivor, who goes through several situations, and he has to take certain decisions, and based on those decisions the final outcome is there. Okay, so this, please do watch the walkthrough of this game, and you will understand how decision making games are made. Okay, most games these days, they have number of alternate endings. So depending upon the type of dialogue, now it is like some suppose you answered, you have there are two people you have to help. There is one situation where the main protagonist, has to save two people. He can save only one person, both of them are in danger, and he has to choose between the two, and depending upon who he chooses to save, there are consequences which he must face in the future. So this is how you can decide on decision making games. So let us start with this game. So over here you can see this is a small rough sketch which I have created. So here at the end of door C, there is a lion waiting for you, a hungry lion. Here there is a dungeon where you will not die, but you will be trapped. Okay. Then there could be further consequences from the dungeon. Then there are barbed wires. You might get tangled or electrified barbed. If they are electrified barbed wires, you might die of electrocution. And the last one is an escape route from where you can escape. Okay, so let's try to create a decision tree for this game. So we'll just create a decision tree. So suppose the player is walking and he comes across door, two doors. So it is asked, which door, A or B? Player chooses A. Okay. Again comes across two doors, C or D. Player chooses C. So what comes over there? Hungry lion. There comes a hungry lion and death. Okay. If D is chosen, that is a dungeon. Trapped in a dungeon. So you are trapped in a dungeon. If path B is chosen, again you have two options, E or F. If it is E which is chosen, electrocuted by electric fence. Okay. And if it is path F, escape route, saved from imminent death. So this is like a decision tree which we have created. Now I really hope you can draw the flowchart for this. So flowchart I am leaving as an exercise for you. Let us start with the question, the program. Or I'll tell you the flowchart also. So we will draw the flowchart over here. So we have a start first of all. Now, what are you doing? Player is walking. Walking through a path down the magic realm. Okay. Now, something is asked. Two doors are there. Select a door. Select door A or B. Now, a decision tree. If door is equal to A, is door equal to A? If the answer is yes, if the door is A, eaten by a hungry lion. And end of story. Okay, if it's not door A, obviously it is door B. Sorry, I think I created something else. 1 second. So here it is, we had made a mistake there. So if it is door A, he again has to go through another door. So again, he comes across another door. Again he comes across two doors, so select door C or D. Again it's checked, is the door C? If it is the door C, that means he will be eaten by a hungry lion. So if it is yes, eaten by hungry lion. If it is no, then it would be trapped in a dungeon. Again, when this is there, select door C or D. If it is, so we'll move up. Is it door A? If it was not door A, that means it is door B. So again, he has to select two doors. Select E or F, and again the condition will be checked. Is the door E? If it is yes, that means he will be electrocuted by an electric fence. Electric fence, which also has barbed wires. And if it is not door E, obviously it is door F, an escape route. Escape route still alive. Now we will check out from where the program comes to an end. Eaten by a hungry lion, end of story. Trapped in a dungeon, end of story. Okay. Electrocuted by the electric fence, end of story. And finally we have escape route. An escape route is found, that also end of story. So this is the flow chart which we will have. So we can, I'll just show it to you. This is how a flow chart is created. The more complicated, so you can see over here, select door A. If door A is selected, this path will be followed and this path will be completely skipped. If door B is selected, this path will be followed, this path is completely skipped, but all outcomes, they lead to stop, that is end. So these are all the four alternative ends, 1, 2, 3 and 4 alternative ends to this small game. Okay, let us code this game. So I have already saved and kept the file. So I'm just going to open the file. Realm of Magic. So this is my Realm of Magic. And now I'm just going to ask from the user the path. So enter the path. Select door A or B. So if path is equal to, I should have taken door. Doesn't matter. If path is equal to A, then he has to again select another door. So I'm taking door over here now. Input, select door C or D. If door is C, then eaten by a hungry lion. Else print trapped in a dungeon. And if it is path B, so else, and again ask a question, door, select door E or F. If door is equal to E, then print electrocuted by an electric fence else escaped successfully via uh, via an escape route, still alive. So still alive. So we are going to run this program and see. Select door, I select door B. E or F, I select E. Electrocuted by an electric fence. You can make this program a little more fancy by adding a few more lines, like you are walking down this path through the magic realm and you come across this you come across two doors. Okay, so you can just add a few lines in this program. So students, this is how you can implement your nested if statement. Okay, nested if structure, and this is how nested if works. So this can be used as a wonderful alternative to creating games. So we have just stepped into this. Later on we will be learning various types of iterations in our programs, like looping, a repeated execution of statements, which will even add few more features to our games. So thank you everybody. If you like this video, please do like it and subscribe my channel if you have not yet done so, and also do share it with your friends. So thank you everyone. We'll meet again in the next class.